Hello, everyone. My name is Logan, or Never Say Dice on the internet. I'm a D&D creator, writer, streamer, SFM, and a little bit of everything. And we're here to play some Shadows Over Driftchapel. We are pre-recording this once again because of holidays, and we could not stream for a while, so this is what we're doing for now. And then on January 21st, we will be, hopefully, picking up again with a live stream schedule. Yay. So we can get back to doing all the fun little in-chat things, the something happens, and you can watch them stress out in real time. Which is pretty fun. However, it's also fun if you want to go back and watch some of the more recent VODs where some editing has been done, some zoom in on people's faces. Was a lot of fun. Some random blipping text on the screen. Loads of fun. Super input at one point. That was a lot of fun. So that will be missed, but I don't know, maybe we can make some emotes of Dana laughing. But anyway, as far as announcements go, of course, all the normal things. I have a Patreon where you can get some very fun D&D content. I've been trying out some new stuff recently, including some more narrative things to go along with normal stat blocks, magical items, all that kind of fun stuff. And on top of that, still streaming my Icewind Dale campaign the day after tomorrow. We are picking up again on next Monday. Loads of fun. They're going to be recovering from the Christmas session, which that was a lot of fun too. It was surprisingly very emotional. It was very sweet and nice. But it went exactly as you think it would with those kinds of characters being able to freely roleplay and do whatever they want. Along with that, the biggest announcement really is I am professionally running games on startplaying.games once again. If I will remember in future times, I will put a link in the thing. And right now I have some Call of Cthulhu games set up. I'm going to kind of get comfortable running those and kind of figuring out what it's like to professionally run games again, but I want to open the doors up to some D&D in the future and maybe some other RPGs if I feel up to it. But yeah, right now I've got some Call of Cthulhu stuff up there. You can play each scenario as either just like a one-off thing, or if you want to play the same character, that's also possible. And there's a note of it in the description on the website as well. But I'm also taking all these different random scenarios and weaving them together ever so slightly, so if you do happen to play each session, you might pick up on some of those details if you're keen enough. So there's a little something there for people who just want a little one night stand with Cthulhu, or if you want a little more long-term relationship with Cthulhu.
It's cute.
Thank you. Lots of fun. And if you go there and you say, Logan, I can't pay for seats and stuff, that's okay. If you're part of the Discord, which all you need to do is be a $1 supporter on my Patreon, you can get free seats. We sort of do some game nights. We did a trivia night this past week, and winner had the choice of things. One of them was a free seat. Patreon supporters get the opportunity of free seats of whatever they're available with. So I like to give them out. So check out my Patreon if you want those kinds of perks. But besides that, I think that's about it. If you guys are ready.
I guess.
I know my players recall almost exactly what they were doing, but for everyone at home who is watching this, last time in Driftchapel, they actually got a full night's sleep for the first time. That wasn't just on the muddy street somewhere. Or in the woods, or in a swamp, or not sleeping and floating in an underground river, or sleeping in a bog witch's room and stealing all of her stuff. You actually kind of got to sleep in a nice warm place with a sleeping bag, so it was nice. The next morning, you woke up, did a little round of town, avoiding some of the people who might have been out, going to visit Miss Lavidia King, the very lovely town taxidermist. Of course, as most taxidermy shops, it was a shop of horrors and crazy creatures stitched together, and a human skeleton that was apparently a significant other of hers at one point that wanted to donate his body to science. But after talking with her, you learned that she, similar to the Ordis in town, she kind of helps the cultist, helps the townsfolk by stitching up their wounds, because it's, still got to make a living. They bring her food and stuff, or bring her supplies or money, and so she returns a favor. But found out that she has a recurring patient who you met, the mayor of the town, being treated for hypertension. Totally normal stuff. Being a mayor is very stressful, and, you gotta, get leached of blood sometimes, so... You decided to make a lunch date with him to kind of pick his brain, learn what it's like as a mayor of Driftchapel. And he made some jokes about drinking after getting blood drawn.
Don't do it.
You met for lunch in this bar that was definitely closed at the time, but he forcibly made it open using just his presence and his mayoral powers. But sitting down wasn't necessarily for lunch. There wasn't really any food. He kept asking for wine. Sludig kept denying him of his wine. Sludig let his barbarian side show a little bit and kept poking buttons, trying to get some answers from the mayor about what's going on in town. This cult, people dying, people going missing. And just the right buttons were hit, just the right things were said. And the mayor revealed his true self. Not, some concerned government official, or even just an oblivious government official, but a true monster. Quite literally, his scarred up arms and things, so quite literally turned into a monster. His scarred up skin on his arms began to turn slimy, squishy, almost started sloughing off and collecting at his hands and around his joints, and he started to swell up like the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka. Except instead of blue, it was horrible, slimy alien flesh. As this amorphous blob began to form, you all made appropriate sanity checks. Especially because as you went to stand up and move and to get ready, placing your feet on the floor, hands on the table to hoist yourself up, your feet squished as if they were in mud, and your hands kind of did the same, slid around, and you looked, and very rapidly this slimy gray alien flesh grew across the walls, across the floor, across the furniture, across everything, until the entire bar inside that you're in, all flesh, or at least tendrils of flesh. In the blink of an eye, the bar is covered, but then it begins to move. You watch as this sort of blob that was once Mayor Mason begins to get a bit farther away as the room starts to stretch and twist and turn and tighten, grow and expand out. And eventually, it's almost bends, and the floor you were standing on tilts up and becomes the wall in front of you, causing you to slip and slide down this now fleshy surface, falling to the backside, the ground side of the bar. It's almost like the entire room has just been tilted on its side. So first thing, if I can get
Whoa.
all three of you to roll initiative.
That was bonkers.
It's not over yet.
I'm sure it's not. Which is scarier.
As you guys start to fall, you start reaching out and just sliding down this slick surface. But you know, if you don't catch yourself on something, you're just going to smack into something at the bottom, whatever that might be. So if I can get... Yes?
How far is the bottom?
Not
A long way and like bends out of sight? Like, I couldn't tell which way it was necessarily bending away. I know.
You can't tell.
Okay.
Because it is as if when you look around, all you see is this sort of fleshy wall. It's like your reality, your perception is being warped. And almost like you're being shifted and thrown around in this tube that is now this room. Yes, Daniel.
Do we still see any semblance of what was a door or a window? Any sort of opening into the outside? Or has that completely sealed up as well?
It has been completely sealed up.
God damn it.
No
Okay.
sign of exit. But
Terror.
if I could get the three of you to make an athletics check for me.
27.
That is a 19.
6.
I'm sorry.
That's how the dice roll.
It's just got 10 times worse. All the pieces are falling into place the most perfect way. It's to be a terrible, terrible time for everyone. Oh, geez. So, if you guys will tend to Owlbear Rodeo for a moment, because I'm going to drop some things. So, here is what happens. In this flurry blinks of an eye, Slutig, you manage to catch yourself as you guys are dropped, thrown, pulled from the table you were sitting at. Slutig, you manage to catch yourself within this double fireplace. So essentially you grab onto the edge of the fireplace mantle, holding on for dear life. Aminah, you do the same, except at this sort of wall corner right here. As you fall through the fireplace, catching yourself, we'll say there. Kieran
is dead.
Kieran, you smash through this door, which would be to the south according to the compass, but it's all topsy-turvy at the moment. So essentially, left is down, right is up, because of this now tilted perspective. And so, Kieran, you fall, and then those sort of, that flesh that is growing over all of the walls and everything grows over now the broken door, now creating sort of this fleshy threshold. Fleshhold?
Flesh
I don't know if I like the sound of that. So just as a utility question for this, for Owlbear, is it possible to rotate it so that down is actually down from our human eye perspective, or is it stuck in this way?
It is stuck in this way. And whenever I say down, you kind of almost have to think like 3D in a way, because it's literally like this is the floor plan for the bar that has been rotated vertically.
Okay.
And so
Okay,
Kieran
I
is
think I get it
technically
now.
at the bottom.
Yeah.
And effectively the floor now and ceiling now being the walls, you have to climb to get from place to place.
So the room is just at 90 degrees now.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The D&D map is now like Donkey Kong. We got to go sideways up the ladders to get to the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
glad that made sense to somebody.
Oh, we should have all been like, what are you talking about?
It's not too late. With the magic of editing, we can do whatever we
Donkey
want.
Kong? Never heard of it. What is that?
Bingo bong? Excuse you?
Oh, Jesus.
Are you talking about that guy from Smash Brothers?
Yeah, he was a character made just for that game.
Yeah, like half the roster.
The only way to move between, essentially move, is to climb these slimy walls unless you can fly or have a climbing speed.
It'd be nice to have a character that could cast teleport at will. Not teleport, levitate at will.
Be nice.
Dang.
And additionally, the walls are covered with kind of fleshy membranes. Each door is as well, so you can see a couple doors on the map. Oh, that's a square. One directly behind Aminah and just above Aminah there. And same here, that's not like sort of a fleshy door, but there's a fleshy door. And then all of the external doors and windows have now been just fleshed over. Almost now you're in this just living organism. However, yes.
Sorry. What is that ball of stuff over near the mayor?
Oh, that's your flesh table now.
Oh, flesh table, cool.
Ah, yes, my flesh table.
Yeah, so there's the flesh table there, the flesh bar there, another flesh kitchen table there, you know, where they cook the food on the flesh table.
The flesh food.
So we can still see like the semblance of what was there before it was covered with flesh, but now it's completely sealed over.
Yes, exactly. It's just that completely sealed up, tilted. It is literally like he bent the world to move you guys as far away as he could. Now really getting to the
Is there
parts.
wine down here? Did I find the wine?
It's all blood. Yes, Daniel, I see you jumping.
Oh, no. That's actually a very pertinent question. Are there actually barrels of alcohol anywhere that are not covered in flesh? I'm dead serious, too.
Not where you are.
Okay.
Maybe in one of the other rooms.
Okay. Good to know.
First up, Sludig.
So Sludig is beyond angry at this situation. He expected conflict, but was a little short-minded, and taken aback, he's going to use his bonus action to rage and prepare himself for what's to come, and then use his action and utter the activation word for Ghastbane and light the cloak aflame.
Amazing. Now it looks like there's a fire in the fireplace.
Uh-huh.
I'll make that orange, not red. Okay. Holding on. Knuckles turning white, hanging onto the edge of the fireplace. Erupt in flame. You want to move anywhere?
I just... Let's see. So am I inside the fireplace or on top of the fireplace?
Inside, like hanging, like through it.
I don't know. Seeing this in the 3 dimensions is messing with me. Do I have
Don't
any
worry,
cover?
it'll change.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh, that's gonna make it easier, Logan. Well, actually, I'm where I want to be between my party and this giant flesh creature, so I'll stay.
Okay. That's where I want to be, between a party and a flesh creature. Oh, my favorite pastime. Okay. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to turn on. That's the one I wanted to turn on. Now, Aminah, it is your turn. You see Sludig on fire, dangling from that fireplace entrance. And you're hanging kind of gripped onto the wall. You see the door just below you, a door kind of off to the side that you could potentially drop over to.
All right. Well, first thing is first. I don't know if I need to make an actual roll for this, but in the midst of the chaos that has happened before we got set up, I'm wondering, is it possible that I will have noticed exactly where the barrels of alcohol are? Or
No,
wherever the alcohol is.
because you have only been in the front room, really.
But would have I heard because if it's all rotating, they would have fallen down. Would I have heard anything like that? Because surely they'll be heavy.
You didn't.
Okay. Well, that's about what I expected, which is okay. So very first thing I'm going to do, because we gotta climb, is Miss Sa'id is going to be shifting. Hit that spider power, yo. And so the very first thing that she's done. And next.
I have an amendment to what I just said.
Okay.
You didn't hear wine crashing. You didn't hear anything crashing, really. And in fact, the things that have been overgrown with flesh stay where they were. So they're almost being pinned or something to where their space was. But the second amendment I have to that is you didn't hear...
Right to bear arms. I'm sorry, I will see myself out.
I'm dead. I'm done. Goodbye.
I'll make sure to cut that out. Or what I'll do is I'll isolate that part and crank up the volume like 200%.
Yeah,
so
you gotta deep fry it.
Yeah. Even though you didn't hear stuff being tossed around or breaking besides the door that Kieran broke through, you did, or you do currently, hear voices? Or not even necessarily voices. It's sort of the quality of whenever you hear someone blasting music in their car, like outside of your home, where like you can hear the subwoofer, you can hear the music, but it's distant, it's echoed. You hear that sort of emanating around you, almost like it's coming from the flesh itself. And you've heard similar, or had a similar effect with yelling at the ocean or the idol that you carry with you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Sounds good. She will have shifted to get that extra climbing speed, and seeing Sludig where he is, she is going to very quickly, because her crossbow is still mage-handed, so it's still going to be floating and still going to be fully cocked, but before she does anything, she's going to take what rope she has, tie it to the end of the bolt, and fire it up into the direction of Sludig and the flesh monster mare, not necessarily trying to hit him, but to hit a sturdy enough point at the top of the room so that we have something
Create
to
a little rappel
climb.
rope. I love that. Just make an attack roll for me.
Let's see what's for my crossbow. So it's going to be a
Pick some videos.
6. Okay. And I forget. I don't add anything to this. It's just a straight.
No.
roll, yeah?
So you don't need to worry about damage really. It's about being able to break through and stick it into flesh. So just make an attack roll for me. So D20 plus your
derp.
2 hit, which is like a plus 8 or 9 at this point.
Derp.
7 or 8 maybe.
You would think I'd have this written down by now, y'all. I apologize. Okay, hang on. So let's start with this. All right, so that is and I'm adding my attack bonus.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. That makes it a 22.
Nice.
I'm gonna get a little spicy with this one because I think it'll be very cool. Daniel, go ahead and roll your damage for me. So a D6 plus your dexterity.
Okay. That will be a 7.
I'm gonna give it a little extra because as you shoot it up through that gap in the fireplace just behind Sludig, it passes through the flames of his cloak, ignites, sails past the former mayor, current mayor? I guess he's still the current mayor. He hasn't been voted out of office.
We haven't killed him yet.
Yeah, he's still there. He still has a little hat on. He's
Oh God!
I'm just kidding. You know, eldritch horrors with like a little bowler cap.
What up? I'm a little frog man.
I'm Kamin. I'm back.
Don't shoot me, it's me, Kamin.
Saluting freezes.
But it hits the fleshy wall just behind it, and you notice that the wall, the flesh of it, sears away and almost melts back, revealing the front door on the other side. Just about half of it. Not enough to be able to get it open, but you see that it peels it back, and then after a moment it just slowly starts to grow back over.
Not
But
exactly the
it
thing I
does
wanted.
stick.
Not exactly the thing I wanted to start with, but the effect is the same exact thing I wanted. So
Yep.
yes.
So now you've got a nice repelling rope that connects from essentially just behind Big Daddy all the way through the fireplace, all the way down to where you are, and then a little bit of info. Okay.
That is good to know. And then I guess I will use my bonus action to, I guess dash would be probably the best way to do this. Dash, using some sort of combination of shifted climbing speed plus the rope to find, let's see, if this is the dining room, probably go into the room that's like directly next to me, because I assume that's probably would be the kitchen. Trying to find the barrels of alcohol.
Okay. This one right here.
No, the other
this
one.
here.
Yeah.
The smaller one. Okay, so we'll move you over there. And you go to reach for a doorknob, try and pry something up, and it is just fleshed over. But you know that it can be attacked and peeled away. So that would just be something you'll have to do on your next turn to do some damage to it. And you see that that's the case for the same door behind you and probably for all the doors. Oh, and now Kieran.
Hit me with the boss.
So last time, you had to roll a sanity roll.
Mm-hmm.
As you fall through that door and smash into this fleshy wall behind you, the immediate area around you starts to get darker. And the only bit of light, and this is the case for, actually it's just Kieran now because Sludig is now aflame and illuminating stuff. The only light in there is just the little red eyeballs that will bubble up to the surface of the flesh and disappear. So it's effectively, it is a dark room with flashing red lights. That's
horrifying.
And pulsating flesh and a squishy, slimy floor. Am I using enough visceral words for you?
You haven't used giant toothy maw yet?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sure-
We'll get there. We'll get there.
It's coming.
It's coming. Don't rush it. But as you're effectively sitting in the darkness and feeling the shadows and flesh moving around you, you hear that sort of echoing noise, that speech almost. And it's vibrating you down to your core. It's making your teeth begin to chatter and tingle. It's like when you have too much soda and it makes your teeth kind of feel weird. You're like... And then it hits you. Your teeth are turning to flesh. And if you don't stop it, and take them out, you will be reduced to a fleshy horror.
Okay.
So, make a wisdom saving throw for me. Actually, charisma saving throw.
Better, actually. 16.
Okay. Let's see what happens at the start of your next turn.
Okay.
As you potentially recover. Mr. Mayor is going to do something that you all have experienced a little bit before. And will bend reality a bit. Reach into your brains and manipulate their essence. And if I could get all three of you, yes, I said all three of you, to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh, thank God. 17.
15.
Also 17.
You all are stout of mind. Even Kieran, who's...
He has bigger problems.
He's got a cavity that's got to come out. You all feel this creature reaching in, trying to take your own reality, your own perception from you. But you rebuke it. You push it back. You push it out of your minds and remain steady. Nice one. It's a big thing. It can't really go anywhere. But it's going to move a little closer and start, like, crawling across the fleshy wall toward Sludig in this fireplace. Now that'll take it back up to the top. That is that. You all feel the bar begin to move once more, begin to writhe and twist, the walls moving once more. But this time, especially after such successful checks to maintain your own minds, you manage to sort of grip for dear life, and it does move, but it merely just sort of flips. So while you're hanging on, you start to feel the way you're turning, Sludig, and you grab the other side of the fireplace and kind of hold on until you settle, still hanging, but it just sort of now flipped. And same for you, Aminah. You've kind of just been... You're a spider, so you kind of slip and slide a little bit, but still maintain your footing. So you're still in a sort of climbing situation for the time being, all of you. And Sludig, it is your turn.
Well, so far the only thing that's really remained constant is the mayor. Sludig's gonna hold on tight. So he's gonna use an action to. So am I able to like move out of the fireplace or to a point where I could potentially make a strike?
Yes. Basically, you can sort of climb out. You'll still be actually, because of the way that the wall is, you could sort of stand on the wall as if it were a floor because of the way it's all twisted and stuff. And just
I'll take it.
Start doing monk shit. Yeah, so I'll move you up. Would you prefer to be over here to the north side or back here kind of next to the bar and this fleshed over door?
I like that second one, right where you moved me. Sorry, I'll move back over to the... Yeah, that works for me.
Perfect.
Alright, so I'm going to make an unarmed strike. Getting a 17 to hit.
17 definitely hits.
At that point, I am going to also use a key point to stunning strike the mayor. And it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
How's a natural one sound?
Oh, constitution saving throw, so that might be better, but a nat 1 still kind of hurts.
That's still bad.
Alright, so it is stunned. Until the...
Start of your next turn.
Yeah, the end of my next turn.
End of your next turn.
So at that point, I'm going to use my bonus action to use my Tavern Brawler feat. That allows me to grapple somebody. So I have to make an athletics check.
I think he, probably fails.
I think so, since
he's stunned.
I got a 29.
Yeah, you grapple him. You're just...
Hug.
And then I am going to use my second attack. Oh, never mind. I'm going to hit it again, because I have to use an action to try and pin it.
Mm.
And do I have disadvantage for this attack? Because I'm grappling? Oh, it's stunned. Okay.
Yeah, no, you would have advantage.
Alright, 16.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit.
Alright, so let's see. I forgot to roll damage
For the first one.
hit.
Yep.
Let's see, so that's 2d6. 12 is 16 plus 4 is 20 points of damage.
How much?
20.
20. You experienced this last time you fought a similar creature. As your punches land into its pudgy flesh, it's just sort of a... seeming to only...
Even with the shock gauntlets?
Even with the shock gauntlets.
Ooh.
Pudgy.
Pudgy. Still takes damage.
Everything I can do with my turn. Got it grappled.
Everything. Does the cloak do anything while you have him grappled?
While it's touching me, it takes 2d6 damage. It didn't say in the item description when that was. I don't know if that's at the end of its turn, start of its turn.
We'll say start of his turn. That makes sense. Damn, Sludig. You're wrestling an eldritch horror out here.
Hey man, gotta do what I can do.
Horrible, horrible eldritch beings summoned from the bowels of the earth. One wrestly boy.
Hey there, eldritch horror. I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, Aminah, it is your turn. You're down there at that door and you peek up through the fireplace and you can see Sludig.
It is Singlet.
Well, clearly he has that occupied. So, very first thing I would like to do, since, am I correct in assuming what would be above me is the impression of what was once a door?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I will take my flask of holy water and splash it in the area that I suspect has the knob and lock on it.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Damn. Daniel's always coming in here with the good plans.
Here I am, punching the giant monster.
D&D veteran for half a decade. punches the shit out of the monster.
Hey, this is how Sludic takes care of problems.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Daniel,
my favorite part of playing with new players.
It's just no problem. Daniel, if you roll 2d6 for me.
Okie doke. Do you need those rolls individually or a total?
Total.
4.
It burns off enough of the doorknob and handle that you could grab it. You'll still need to give it a little oomph to get it fully open, but you think it's possible.
Okay, well, if I can do it, I am going to get that door open.
The battle ends, all the flesh is gone, Aminah's still at the door. It's open. So yes, Daniel, please make me an athletics check.
It's going to be a 17.
I think about to just stop at 7, and I'm like, oh no. A 17 is enough to bash that door open, and as it, you're climbing, so you're not necessarily falling through it or anything, but yeah, get a little oomph, get a little shoulder momentum into it, and as it pushes open, you kind of grab the interior of the doorway and look in. You don't see wine, but you see cultists, half absorbed by the wall, being taken in as part of the fleshy existence of this building. About 5 of them just lined up.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut this right back in. Put a sock on the knob next time, guys. Come on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, one of them is mumbling, "We're one with the flesh."
God damn it. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I guess I can't really. Can I still do anything? I mean, I could dash in here, but if I don't see the thing I need to see, so I'm. Okay. I guess I will dash to the other door and see what's actually. Wait. No. Better idea. Did I notice where Kieran fell?
Yes, you would have seen him.
Okay, well.
Open the door on me, pulling my teeth out.
Well, honey, I'm dashing to that door where you fell through.
Don't come in, I'm naked.
I'm toothless. I ain't got my teeth in. Okay, so yeah, Aminah, you scurry, climb over there. That's Aminah. You were scurrying. But as you start to gain up some momentum climbing, the fleshy floor, wall, ceiling that you were crawling across just gets so slick to the point of almost losing grip. And if you will make me an acrobatics check.
Okay. Sweet. All right. Thank goodness. That is going to. Oh my god. That's going to be a 10. Thank goodness for proficiency.
So wait, what did you roll on the d20?
A 1.
Oh.
No. Aminah, despite your spidery grip, you slip and fall. You slip and fall, and slurp and fall into that fleshy door that Kieran fell through. However, as you brace yourself and hit the flesh covered wall or floor at this point, it reaches back out at you, and the sort of divot and hole you made in the flesh as you reel back, inky Gloam shadow spills out of it and forms into little shadow-like creatures that you have had your fair share of tussles with at this point. So let me drop a couple of those guys in here.
Oh. Sir, you said a couple? That is 3?
That is a few.
I'll add a thruple of these guys in here.
Are they in a thruple?
They're in a thruple. And Aminah, at this point, you are prone. And from touching and, like, falling into the wall, creating this divot and falling into it, not just grabbing onto it, but really breaking through it a little bit, you take 11 points of acid damage.
Ew, gross. Okay.
Now I need to add fellas in here. Shadowlings, Aminah. They are going to ambush Aminah.
Damn it.
That is their job.
Hmm.
Oh, but I rolled so bad. All 3 of them attack, and they have advantage because you're prone, and they all miss. I rolled nothing higher than a 12.
Whew, I was bracing myself for some fancy acrobatics.
Okay, Daniel, I have an idea, but I'll let you also take the reins if you want. Do you want to describe how you're able to fight back all these shadow creatures while prone? Or do you want me to do it?
Okay, well, let's see here. I imagine that there's momentum in everything that I'm doing, in combination of my climbing speed plus the environment, like, shifting around us, like, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man, how do I... See, I got so excited I messed with my humidifier.
Exciting.
Basically, it's going to be a lot of slip and sliding action akin to like that universe in Doctor Strange, where it's like you're just using the momentum of everything around
guiding
you.
Yourself.
And yeah. Unless you need anything else from me,
Nope,
I got a
that's
mess I need to
perfect.
clean up. So hang
Clean
on
up your
tight.
mess. Daniel made a mess. Amazing. Kieran.
That's me.
Now I need to
What
roll
happened?
something for you.
Have you not rolled enough for me already?
No.
No.
The shadow around you begins to clear.
Okay.
And in your hand, or on the floor,
Wall, ceiling.
floor, mingling with all the flesh and slime, you see a lot of your medical supplies.
I need those.
You see a bit of blood on one of your hands. And then in your other hands, a set of calipers with a tooth clenched in them. But then you look up, wondering, wait, the shadow cleared, and you look up, because there is a shadowling that had been crowding around you, that had emerged from your impact, just as those had happened to Aminah. And you're free to do whatever you'd like as you're sitting on the ground holding a tooth in your hands in front of the horrible shadow monstrosity.
So collecting what little bit of senses he can in the moment, staring at the tooth and the pliers is just gonna... Okay. Stuff in pocket, turn, see weird shadow thing, just gun out, bam, at right there. It's like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's dying today.
I like to think he says oh shit, and then he finds out that, oh shit, oh,
Ow!
Oh, good heavens!
So yes, make your attack roll.
That is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it.
I had a feeling it would. Do I want to put anything into this? Yeah. I need it to make a strength saving throw for me.
How's a 6 sound?
It sounds like a failure. So it gets, as I pull out the pistol and just fire it center mass, it gets blown backward away from me 15 feet as I use my pushing attack maneuver. So does it go up in the air or does it? I don't know what happens. Oh, and it also takes 16 points of piercing.
Yeah, it's super dead. If you're thinking of like a rectangular prism room that has been tipped vertically, you're sort of on the wall side. So you're kind of in like a 10-foot wide space with him kind of in front of you. If you wanted to kind of go for like an uppercut, you could, or you could just shoot straight forward.
Which direction on the map is it gonna go right now? Like, is it gonna fly towards the door, or is it gonna move at all? Okay.
Technically be there, because I forgot it was on its side.
That's fine. Just away from me then. Goodbye. Go away.
I like to think a little bit. Now you pick up on what Aminah noticed. As it smashes into this fleshy wall over here, so does your bullet, of course. Because shadow isn't, it's not going to catch the bullet. But the sheer force of it knocks this shadow back. And even though it dissipates, the bullet hits the flesh on the other side and begins to peel away. And you see the edge of a window revealed as the flesh peels away some and then slowly starts to grow back.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to look around again, assess the situation quickly, just like gather up tools off the ground, just like quick scoop, shove things back in pocket. Can I? You said the doors are like flesh at this point.
Yes.
Yes. Are they like semi-translucent flesh or solid?
You can see, especially where Aminah's is, you can see just kind of shadows moving on the other side every time the red lights appear.
Okay.
So you can see a little bit of movement on the other side.
Assuming that she is close enough to hear me, I'm going to call out to Aminah and use a commander's strike. When I take the attack action on my turn, I can forego one of my attacks and use a bonus action to direct one of my companions to strike. When you do so, the friendly creature who you can see or hear you makes an attack, and I expend a superiority die, which gets added to the roll. So Daniel can make an attack with an additional 6 points of damage.
Heck yeah! So Daniel make an attack. Either probably a knife, because you're so close to them it'd be hard to shoot.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the dagger. So let's see. That is a D6. So it's just going to hit no matter what, right? This is going to be.
No, it's still an attack roll, I think.
His extra thing was to damage. You still have to roll to hit, that which includes your a D20 plus your dex and proficiency.
Derp.
All the normal stuff. It's
derp. Okay. Well, it's still going to be colossal. That's a 22.
Yes, and even just the commander strike damage by itself is going to be enough to slash through. Actually, Daniel, go ahead and roll your D4 plus your dex, because
overkill.
you might be able to cleave through them and just
D4?
do for your dagger. I think it's a D4 unless you're using a short sword.
No, it's a dagger.
Then yeah, D4 plus your dexterity.
Okie doke. That's gonna be 7.
So then plus the 6 is 13. You almost get all of them in one go, but you at least get these two there. Just a big wide slash with your dagger. Stab, stab. Dissipates into shadow. Easy peasy. Okay.
Very nice.
Anything else, Bradley?
That was action and bonus action. Correct me if I'm... This is up and down? Or
yes.
This?
So left is down, right is up.
I'm gonna stay where I am because the door is opposite me. I'm not gonna get any. Well, could I like climb onto this flesh table in front of me?
You sure could use the flesh table, sure.
So I'm gonna like jump up and try and like grab up onto and stand on the flesh table to get like here.
Get close enough. So make an athletics check for me.
Okay. That is a 15.
That's fine. That works. So you get there.
And I'll just stay there. I feel like that's as far as I can go with the door still shut, and I don't have anything else to attack it with.
Forgot a thing.
Uh-oh, he forgot a thing. The tables are actually also mimics.
Oh no.
I thought
You
about
stuck
that.
your foot in it.
I almost did that. I was like, no, that's too much. It's too much. Nope, I didn't forget anything. That's good. That was Kieran's turn. Now it is the Vestige's turn. Who is stunned? I think that's, he's just stunned. He's burbling.
Garble, garble.
It gets no actions or reactions, and while it's grappled, it has 0 movement.
So it just in your face. It sucks on your ear a little bit.
I don't like it. But it does take 2d6 fire damage.
Oh yeah, give me a 2d6 fire damage.
Ooh.
2.
Did you really roll 2 1s on that?
Yes.
Rip.
Gonna put those in a cage.
Lock those away forever. Okay, that was his turn. Now takes it back all the way up to the top. With yeah. If I could get all 3 of you to make an athletics check for me.
29.
13.
12.
Bradley and Daniel, if you'll both roll a d4 for me.
I got a 4.
I also got a 4, so we both take them.
No,
Okay.
You both take 7 points of acid damage as the building straightens out.
Oh,
And you
that's
both
nice.
slip, slide, and fall onto the floor once the actual floor. It is as it looks now. It is all correct.
Ooh, nice. A moment of peace.
No more topsy-turviness. Sludig, you managed to keep your balance even though you're grappling a eldritch horror. Aminah and Kieran.
Bad part is 4 shadowlings appear around both of us.
4 shadowlings appear around both of you.
Lovely.
Lovely. He just crawls right out of the fire.
Lovely.
I'm glad you guys rolled that. I would have felt so terrible. I would have fudged it.
1d4 times 2.
I'll just keep saying number. It's fine. Kind of like I just did for damage, where you both rolled 4s, and I was like, I'll just take the average damage. So I won't roll. I won't chance it. Oh man, that's a lot of tokenage on that screen. Oh, just shrouded in darkness.
This would be a great moment for a warlock to cast Arms of Hadar.
Right.
If only we had one. Oh no.
Oh no. And finally, it's not over yet, kids. Because the actual event that happens right now needs to happen. As the room straightens back out, it is such a jarring sensation to your perceptions, and it literally feels like you're in a completely different place. Like the air feels different, everything sounds different, it feels different. It's still all fleshy and looks the same just about, but it just feels like you're being just shunted to place after place reality after reality, and then now you are overwhelmed with writhing shadow creatures. I think this one is for everyone still. But it's, yeah. Even for Sludig, because he's grappling an eldritch horror. If I can get all three of you to make an intelligence check of your choice, either Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion, to grab onto something that you know, looking for something in your own reality to hold on to before you completely lose your shit.
Religion proficiency coming in handy.
Ludig as nature.
I got the Arcana and I got a 21.
24.
26.
Reality bound.
And for the split second that the time completely falls apart and space has just absolutely no meaning and everything seems to just be all willy-nilly, like nothing's real. What is everyone's facts that they cling to in this moment? What do they remind themselves of? Like, oh, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Like, what is the one thing they grapple to in relation to the skill you rolled?
I think, like, Kieran's background or reasoning for, like, knowing religion isn't going to necessarily be, like, faith-based, but just proximity with the Dawnhammers for as long as he was. So it's mostly going to be like not quite factual reconciliation of the deities, but like memories associated with that. Like, this is who Kieran is, this is Kieran's past, this is what his experiences are, and that's what kind of rooting him in the moment.
I'm going to flavor mine, even though it's Arcana, it's going to be almost more science related, where it's like science meets alchemy and all that. And Aminah is thinking like, okay, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. In a force of equal, in a vacuum, a force of equal resist. Newton's laws, I think.
Newton's laws.
Yes, okay, something like that.
And Sludig's being tied with nature, it's more of like a natural instinct almost combined with his knowledge of like, you know, if I can breathe, I can still fight this thing. If I can move around, I'm still able to do what I could. It doesn't matter where. It's just kind of self-assuredness. And like, if it looks like the natural world, smells like the natural world, it must be the natural world.
It's a duck.
It's a duck. Oh man, I love it. Oh. Man. Can't believe you all got that. That was impressive. And all in the mid-20s. Unbelievable.
This felt good.
That was good. And Sludig, it is your turn. You are not letting this Fleshspawn deter you to break your reality.
I am not, and I am gonna make some attacks.
Do it.
First attack is a dirty 20.
Yep.
Second attack is a 22.
Yep. If it starts with a 20, yeah.
Third attack, using my bonus action, I'm going to also use a point to flurry of blows. I get a critical hit.
Ooh.
And then fourth attack,
Sludig, he's our man.
28.
Mm-hmm. So 3 hits and 1 critical. I'm gonna go toilet cat. Well,
Alright, Logan. It's 47 points of damage.
What does it look like whenever you kill this eldritch being?
Brought back to where he
holy shit.
was years ago when he first met Ilya. He was grappling an eldritch horror, doing the best he could to stay alive, really going beyond what he could do in the moment then. and he's kind of living his life from then to now in slow motion as he just pummels this creature. And it is just between the fire from the cloak, the tiny arcs of lightning coming from Zip and Zap. I can only imagine it being like a bloody, gory mess, since it's such a fleshy, nasty creature.
Definitely, and every time you pull your hands out, a little bit of slime, like, but then sizzles off from the cloak. And finally, landing your couple final blows, it sloughs off into just this slurry of flesh and slime and blood back onto the floor. And you watch as the fleshy walls in the sort of main dining area start to recede a little bit. You can start seeing some outlines and remnants of windows in the outlines of the front door. Still slightly covered, whereas before it was like a tarp of flesh, a layer of flesh. Now it's more like a net of flesh. That'd be a little bit easier to get through. But you can hear and kind of see shadows moving beyond the fireplace.
That was my action and bonus action. So that is... Actually, I'll climb around, get a little bit closer, get back up to the fireplace.
And it's all flat now, so you can just walk.
Oh, nice. Even better.
Yeah, and you can see just a cloud of moving shadows beyond the fireplace. And that will now bring it to... Aminah. Surrounded.
Okay.
Okay.
With the area, with the building in its current state, can I clearly see, like, glass from a window? Can I see outside?
Not from where you are. The flesh mostly only receded in the main dining area. It is still in full force where you are. And you hear some strange echoing coming from behind you.
And I know Kieran is down there, right? In the other room. Okay.
You hear strange eldritch echoing coming from behind.
All right. What is the thing called?
And then Kieran echoing like, kill the thing.
Okay.
Oh, good heavens!
Crap. What's it called? I didn't put it in here. I don't want to necessarily attack, but I want to try and slip through the few shadowy creatures that are near me. Maybe use my dagger to sort of like just push them out of the way, and just make a beeline for the door that like I know is the main dining area where Sludig is, and just I pushed them out of the way, not necessarily for the intent of attacking, but like just to get out of there.
And that'll basically just be disengaging, and if you want to, you can easily run through, get through them, get underneath the fireplace, slide through badass style, and get to the other side. If you would, make an acrobatics check for me.
Perfect. That's going to be... Oh boy, 13.
A 13 again. I'm gonna put faith in your hands. Roll a d4 for me.
Jesus, I'm too excitable tonight. That's gonna be a 4.
Oh no!
Aminah slides through. In Sludig, you watch as Amina's doing this badass slide, but you realize, oh no, she slipped and is sliding, and then cracks down onto the ground and stops halfway in the fireplace, kind of underneath this shadow creature that was standing there, leaving behind in her wake just a heap load more. Just
an
golly.
absolute heap of them.
So Aminah is prone in the fireplace right in front of you. You can. So Daniel, if you want to use the rest of your turn, you could dash and get up and move more. You can try to get out of there.
Okay. And the primary monster that was the mayor is like capital D dead, right?
That you can see.
That I can see.
As long as he doesn't have like 5 lives.
That I can see.
That's not even my final form.
Okay. Well, dang. Okay. Shoot, I already used that. Well, I am going to, in the room that we're in, search for the most easily accessible, easily visible window and dash right toward it and just go like with the back of my crossbow, just try to force it open as much as I can.
Okay. As you go to do that, make one more acrobatics check for me. And I will draw a little bit here on the map. On the map.
Okay. That's a whopping 25.
Yeah, you're fine. No slipping and sliding this time. So I will let you decide once you get out of the fireplace. The 2 blue lines are windows, and I'm going to make this yellow line here. It's going to kind of... Oh, it will let me sort of do like a halfway. Whatever. The yellow line are the front double doors, and they're all kind of equally loosely being held shut by this fleshy membrane, but any of them would be easy enough to tear through, pry open.
I'm just going for the window to oh wait, I don't have the thingy. Where's the thingy? Where's select pointer? This window.
Awesome.
Right there.
So you run over there, and since you had to use disengage, movement, and dash, you can break it open on your next turn. But you can see it's going to be a lot easier than it was before.
Okay.
I'm starting to sweat. A lot of... I think they have a thing.
Oh, you took one of mine.
Oh,
The one that was here in the door. Oh boy. I didn't like that.
Yep. So they're gonna split the difference to try and gang up. Have all your ACs here, so I'm just gonna start rolling all these, and it's been any proof so far. Probably will miss a lot of them. Okay, so Aminah will take 2 hits. And there's little shadow thingamabobs. As they claw and grab and wrap their inky gloam appendages around you. So Aminah, you take 13 points of damage total. Shaludig. 1 is a natural 20, but the rest are really bad.
That one will take 2d6 fire damage for hitting me.
Oof. It is destroyed.
Dummy.
It takes 12 points of fire damage.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
super dead. I'll say this is this guy in the fireplace because that's inconvenient. So that
How much
one.
damage does it do? A lot.
13 points, have to 6. Yeah. And then Kieran.
Hello.
Well, those were all bad. And then gets and then 2 more. And those were okay. One of them hits of all of those.
Do I? No, I'm not gonna bother.
You take 6 points of damage.
Cool.
Oof. Jeez. Now it brings us to Kieran.
Okay. This is a predicament.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I have a question for Logan. I was
Okay.
trying my best to answer this question between my turns, but I could not find the solution. I recall towards the beginning of starting this campaign that there was a list of additional actions we could do in combat.
User.
I cannot find that list. I don't know if it is due to my own ineptitude or if I just have not found the proper, because we've had Discord group chat, Discord, and the Google Drive.
Yes. I believe it is in a shared Google Drive.
Because I'm checking the
Find it
house
myself.
rules doc. Because that's where I thought it was, but I don't see it. Glad this is not happening for our live captive audience.
All right.
Hmm.
I thought I put it in there, but maybe I may have taken it out or something. Oh.
Well, I know we kind of just discovered that piercing or cleaving is kind of a thing in this, correct?
Mhm, yes.
Okay. Could I theoretically use my bonus action to disengage and move through these dick holes to like one of these 2 spaces?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start right there, cock back and reload the gun, fire, and try and just buzz through all 3 of them if I can.
Yeah, make an attack.
Ooh. That is a 21 to hit.
That'll do it.
Cool.
Roll some damage.
Yeah, I'm also gonna make this a pushing attack to get the superiority die.
We should wait to each other.
That is 18 points of piercing damage for the first attack.
Resounding gunshot,
Hell yes.
blasting them all away.
And then I'll do a cool spin move, because I'll try spinning. That's a cool trick. End up right here next to him, cock back the lever on the gun to reload another chamber,
Do it again.
and do it again. I'm not going to expend another superiority die. Oh, come back dice. That is a lot higher than the last roll. It's a 28.
Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah. And 12 points of damage. That was fucking...
Down they go.
Hell yeah, good job.
Okay.
You get an
now,
achievement.
I saw when I propelled a guy into a wall earlier over here, I saw a window thing, yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of my movement to come over here, action surge, I'm gonna whip out my short sword and just cleave through the wall to see if I can get through it.
Make an attack roll.
That is not as good. That is a 13 to hit the wall. Does that hit the wall?
It sadly does not hit the wall.
Pink. It's fine. I got an extra attack.
Bounces off the rubbery, slimy flesh.
That's still not great, but it's better. That is a 17 to hit.
That does hit. Roll some damage.
Okay. That is 8 points of slashing damage.
You stab through it, you hit wood on the other side, and it retreats back, revealing some of the window. But it's not enough to fully get it away, and it starts to creep back over.
Gotcha.
Alright, anything else?
That is all. That is literally all I can do.
Oh, Jesus.
Blowing through my resources.
That will...
Hey, if I mention going out on our long rest next time,
No,
Knock me out.
you're not allowed.
Amina's got some potions, some poisons for that, knock you unconscious for a little while. That's gonna bring it back up to the top. Nope. Never mind. That eldritch echoing continues. And that will now bring it to... Oh, the actual thing. If I could get... Kieran's fine. But if I can get Aminah and Sludig to both make athletics checks for me.
I'm fine. For once.
Dirty
Let's
20.
Get physical. Physical. That's a 17.
Alright, so if it wasn't confusing enough, everything warps and moves, threatening to knock you guys around once again. But you felt it coming. You have become adept at sensing these changes and knowing exactly what and where to grab onto. Aminah, with that slight bit of window that's exposed, you're able to grab onto a little just bit of windowsill with your spidey-like grip and just hold on there. Sludig, same thing, grabbing onto the nearby mantle of the fireplace, holding on for dear life, the rock crumbling under your freaking unbelievable grip. And it all tilts, so then the window that Aminah is at is now up the ceiling, and the side of the building that Kieran's on is the floor. So effectively, it just went like this. Kieran, you just kind of like...
Oh.
Yeah, you like fell forward onto the window. And Aminah and Sludig, you both grab on. So now all you have to, like, you're still looking up at the window now, but you're held on. You're fine. You're right next to it still. Now, these little shadow creatures can teleport, but that's sort of a thing they actively have to do. Some of them hold on. Those do not. What?
And then they impact, and then they create
They
more.
create more.
No!
It's all part of the long
Oh
con.
god.
Goal is to just have this entire map covered in shadowlings.
You're purposefully like jumping and falling for the floor.
I use my movement speed and stomp all over the ground.
Experience farming at its finest. We're coming for you, Katuk.
Give me 3 years, I'll be level 20. No biggie.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. So that happens, but you guys are all fine. Sludig, it is your turn. You and Aminah are a bit surrounded by shadow creatures, but the window is almost open, almost available to be escaped from.
I am going to unleash a lot of blows, not a flurry of blows.
A lot of
Don't-
blows.
Quite
Don't
a few,
wanna-
not quite a flurry.
Yeah. No key points spent today. One right above me, then diagonally, then to the side.
It's less of
I'm
a
kind
flurry,
of-
more of a dusting.
Yeah. The first attack is a 26,
Uh-huh.
dealing 12 points of damage.
You get rid of 2 of them. Cleaving.
Ah.
Roundhouse
And I will
punch.
attack the other one,
Big ol' hook.
getting a 27.
Uh-huh.
Those were reckless attacks. I didn't call it. I'm sorry. I will take it back.
I mean,
I got a 16 and a 17
You're
for the
still
first one.
I-
This one has a 9 and a 17.
Yep, I think it's okay. Yep, they're all dead. You want to move anywhere, climb anywhere?
No. No.
You sure? It sounded a little like.
Yeah. No, because
Hmm.
I'll climb out here. I really like the fireplace. It's been good to me though. I'm gonna climb out onto the flesh table and try and get between these three and Aminah, who's trying to open
There
it.
is also still the rope that's like been
Yeah,
like,
so you could
shot
grab on,
here
hold on
as
to
a
that.
guide.
Bradley, I'm thinking about getting Vanilla Envelope back together. We're gonna be called Flesh Table.
Flesh table.
Oh god.
Vanilla Envelope's members got back together for a death metal band.
Ska death metal.
That sounds horrible. I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Oh no doubt.
If you're watching this on YouTube and you are in
Please.
a ska death metal band,
Please reach out.
reach out. Tweet.
Write the theme for this campaign.
Oh my god, you have any idea how fucking amazing that is?
That
A
would be
ska death
incredible.
metal theme. for
Oh my
D&D.
god, that'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty sweet. Oh god. Slidic. Aminah. Is your turn?
Okay.
I wonder what you're
I
gonna
find
do.
it very interesting. All right, so effectively what's happened is gravity to us is now working. So like down is south on this
Yes.
map, and then up is north.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the window you are holding on to and are about to open is just directly above your head and you're kind of dangling from it.
Okay. Thinking nimbly with this adjustment of gravity. First thing, What I'm going to do is I'm going to load my crossbow with my specially crafted inflict wounds bolt. And I am going to aim it in the direction. I'm obviously going to move slightly just so I can avoid hitting Sludig, obviously. But I'm going to fire it in the direction of the newly formed Shadowlings. Where's pointer tool? Nope, that's not pointer tool. Where's pointer tool? Down here. I'm going to fire down here. And simultaneously, I'm going to let go of that window and use gravity to just stomp right through the window that's down there and use all of that force to just smash it.
I love it.
Oh my god, Daniel, take a point of inspiration because that idea is just thebomb.com. That is amazing. That is gorgeous.
Because whatever that bolt's hitting, I want it dead.
Yeah, roll to hit with your crossbow.
Oops, man.
Pull up our rules.
That wasn't too much better. Okay, to hit, that's a 9.
You want to use a point of inspiration to give yourself
I think I
advantage that I
will.
just gave you? It's like, I want this to work so desperately bad.
Oh, because I just got
look
the
at
most
chat. Somebody
badass
just gave
mental
me
thanks,
image
chat.
of this happening.
Well, with that point of inspiration, that's going to become 16.
There we go. Okay, now I need to look up freaking inflict wounds. It does lots of damage.
Oh, it's like 3d.
Inflict wounds is on a hit, target takes 3d10 of necrotic damage.
Oh yeah, roll 3d10.
What a first level spell.
Okay. Oh, no, yeah, we'll use this one. 9. So it's supposed to be 0 or 10.
0 is a 10.
Okay. 19.
I dealt 0 damage.
21. It's 21.
This bolt inscribed with all these runes that you pilfered off of a cultist, this spell scroll that you have taken, put into a bolt, it sails and it almost starts to glow that like black Gloam energy as it just skirts past Sludig, sails past, hits this shadow creature, immediately letting loose the spell and just absolutely vaporizing it. Then the slight remnants of that crossbow bolt, as it is essentially eaten up by the spell, it almost creates like a pepper shot of just like psh, against the window, sort of eating away slightly at the membrane that's there protecting the window, and you just very elegantly let go, dive past Sludig, and feet first crash through the window. Very suddenly and jarring, you immediately, feet first, hit the wall of the building that that's next to this one, and you almost crumple beneath it. Make an acrobatics check for me, because you still got your spider climby stuff.
Yeah, I do. Sure do. Acrobatics. All right, come through, mama. 25.
Your feet hit. You feel your legs start to give out, and immediately, that math brain, the science part of it, you start to realize, like, if I resist this too much, it is going to shatter my legs. I'm fucked. And so you almost give into it, let yourself kind of crouch, and then brace yourself kind of with your hands too, and stick with your spider and like. Sludig, if you were watching this, you might notice it first before even Aminah does. But Aminah, it doesn't really hurt. It was a lot of force to it, but it doesn't hurt. And when you look, black spider legs have ripped through your cloak and armor and helped to break your fall.
Whoa.
To now where you have
Okay.
2 arms, 2 legs, and then 2 pairs of spider legs on either side.
Oof. Okay.
And they're just like the 2-pronged normal in spider legs,
Yeah.
right?
Your
What
fall is
other
broken.
kind of spider legs would it be?
Why didn't I didn't know?
They have human hands at the end of
That
them.
would be terrifying.
Human feet.
Oh, wow.
Worse than any eldritch horror.
Oh, God.
Spider
The
with
6
hands.
No.
Oh man. So Aminah, you catch yourself, you look, you see that, but then you look at where you are, and you are stuck to the side of a building about 4 feet off of the ground. And it almost looks comical. Just kind of sitting there stuck to the building. But then it starts to slip a bit, and you look down at the ground, and the building wall is also turning into flesh. The ground beneath you, outside of the bar, is flesh now.
What, are you gonna tell me next the sky's flesh?
You need to lower
Oh
your
my
volume.
God.
So with that, oh yeah, that was the attack. the fall and a disengage unless you. Yeah, that'll be fine. What do I even do with this now? It's gone. There. These things. Not very good climbers. They're just mostly goop.
I'ma just goop on up the walls here. Pardon me.
Okay, so they both are able to climb and at least get close enough to. Well, it's light outside. It was daytime, so they're not gonna go outside. I'm over to Sludig. Drew, did you
They
reckless?
do have advantage.
I was about to say, I was like, did we reckless? I can't remember. Two of them hit. One was a 19, one's a 16.
First one
barely.
takes 6 points of fire damage. Second one takes 5.
So they both die, but not. The first one, 10 points of damage, half to 5, and the second one 10. So 10 total, already halved. But also very dead. I'll make it these two on the bottom. Blech, blech. Jesus, y'all. Kieran. Jeez, I losing track of
Hi.
everything.
Okay, so I'm standing on a window now.
Yes.
Is it a window or is it flesh?
It is now flesh again and it's grown back.
That's what I
over.
figured. I will short sword still out, just attack it and like carve another hole in it, slice open the peel back the flesh to reveal the bony window underneath. That is a 19 to hit the flesh.
Oh, definitely. Yep, that'll hit.
For 8 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Is the window exposed now?
Almost. It is so close. It is so close, Bradley.
Okay. I am going to stick the short sword back in its sheath. Pull out from my back my long gun, my rifle. And this is the first time I've used the weapon, so I'm going to describe it and go into a little bit of detail.
I love this idea of you like going ahead with the sword, then you're just like,
Fuck it. Traditional looking musket, however, where the firing mechanisms and others would normally be, you see me, I pull out this small round metal, just looks like a flask or container of some kind, and I screw it into the body of the rifle. As it makes final contact, you hear a quick as it connects seal, and then I point it down at the ground. And it's not quite the loud big boom with gunpowder smoke in the air everywhere. It's a loud hiss of compressed air as it fires back, and I want to shoot at the flesh and the window to break it all, essentially. Yep. And I will use the superiority die to make this a pushing attack. Because fuck you, window.
Hell yeah.
That is a nat 19.
Yeah.
So I think it hits the. That's a 30 to hit. Cool. That is 18 points of piercing damage, and the window gets pushed back 15 feet from me.
The entire section of the wall just yeah, you definitely blast that window wide open, revealing the narrow alley on the other side and the fleshy exterior of the neighboring building.
Oh. The fleshy exterior of the neighboring building?
And for a little bit of perspective, So the front of the bar is that yellow line.
Yes.
The building that's to the north of the bar, that's the taxidermist shop. That is Lividia King's shop. The building that was over here was just some rundown, abandoned home or shop or something that was over there. So you're kind of wedged between two buildings.
Is it raining?
Yes.
Cool. I will. I assume I was standing on the window shooting at my feet, so I fall through. Very similarly to the way Aminah
If you had missed that shot...
Shoot my eye out with a high-powered BB gun?
Yeah, so you kind of stumble, fall a little bit as you land in the alleyway and see Aminah gripped to the side of the building down the way.
Interesting. We'll get to that later. I stand up. I'll leave the rifle on the ground for a moment, and I'll use my bonus action to use an object. I'm going to light a torch and throw it inside. I'm gonna try and set the building on fire.
When you do, you turn back around and look through the window. The fleshy door that was closing off this room has sort of peeled away, and you're kind of when you look through the window, the interior is vertical, so it's this horrible illusion almost.
Yeah.
But you can see the door. You're like looking up through the room and at the door, and you see this horrific, fleshy centaur-like creature, like the actual centaurs from Fallout, like straight up fleshy, eyes and all sorts of appendages burbling off of it. But the top half of it is Mayor Horace Mason, and he's at the door leading into the room that you were just in. And he calls out to you, and you can hear these echoes in his voice, almost imperceptible, but echoing his voice, but not the same tone, not the same language. It says, "Where are you going? I was just getting some wine to drink." And you can see his face starts to like drip down, like it's peeling away and melding with the rest of his amorphous form.
If I can, I will throw the torch at him. Just, what are you doing? Fight or flight.
First, make a sanity roll for me, please. Because you're the unfortunate soul who sees that.
4.
You're good.
I'm not insane.
And then I think for torch, you like swing it. You might be able to throw it. I can't recall.
It doesn't have to do any
probably
damage.
an improvised weapon.
This is just freaking me out.
Just make it athletics. Just.
16.
Hey. It lands kind of in front of him into the flesh shadowing sprout from where the torch lands.
Oh no.
Whatever. I fucking move away from that fucking nightmare. For now, I guess I'll like post up, not against the wall, but I will move away from the window and I will pick my rifle back up.
Oh, maybe I should instead. I'll put the Horace Mason token down and make it just big. That's horrible. That's so much worse.
Oh god.
That is worse.
That's worse than the
now
actual
you have to
eldritch
leave it.
horror token. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Back to the top with Mayor Horace Mason. Turns around, squeezes through the fireplace. And Sludig, you see the torso of Horace Mason squeeze through, followed by this bulbous, slug-like lower body. And if you will make a sanity roll for me, before you make some kind of joke about him looking exactly the same.
I got a 5.
Okay, you're fine.
All I was gonna say was, I thought you were too easy to kill. Come back for seconds, have you?
He says, "Well, I'm a big man," and he rears back. His big arm just turns into this big, sopping wet, just club of flesh as he goes to bring it down on you. no. I was 16 to hit.
Hit.
And then he takes some fire damage.
7.
I slipped it. 7. He's gonna take a mighty big hit on you.
A mighty big swing.
24 points of damage, half to 12.
Ouch.
Ooh, and then that will now bring it to the room. The room straightens back out. The only person affected is Sludig, so Sludig, if you'll make an acrobatics check for me.
Acrobatics, oh no. Oh, dirty 20.
Yep, you're totally fine. You land on your feet, standing up next to this horror mason. Not Horus Mason, horror mason. The room straightens out. And Sludig, you start to lose your grip again, looking at this horrible disfiguration of Horus Mason. Aminah's gone. Starting to feel almost trapped in this room with him. If you will make once more, I assume, a nature check. You focus on your breathing.
14?
Mindfulness. With the DC 14, you maintain your grip on reality.
I couldn't tell if that
Not
was a
like-
finally did it or a
Nope,
man.
that's a you son of a bitch, you do it again. The feature, the actual ability is called Madness Unending, but it's never even started. So you've been
That's why it's unending. It hasn't started.
can't end if it ever started. Holy crap, Drew. You maintain your footing. You even maintain your mind's footing. And then now that will take it to your turn, Sludig. You see that Aminah has made her grand escape, and now there's an opening out there.
I call out quickly. Are we fleeing or staying?
And I'll just reply to the effect of, get out of there. We have more of an advantage out here than in that death box.
I am going to then punch the mayor.
Okay.
Getting an 18. No.
That'll
Hit.
hit.
I'm going to use that as a stunning strike with a key point.
Stay
So it
there.
needs to make a DC 16, I think. Maybe not that high. DC 15, I'm sorry. Constitution save.
Man, I wish the DM had some inspiration right now. You got a 12.
Now, with that guy stunned, I'm going to run towards the open window. Oh, and might as well do the damage. That's 6 plus 8 is 14 points of damage.
She whiz. I mean, you provoke and sack of opportunity from the shadow thing, but it's so nat 20.
Gives you a nice
Ow.
smack on the rump on the way out.
Yeah, he'll give you a nice smack on the booty. So that is 10 points, half to 5 points of damage. Wallop, real wallop. And Sludig, if you'll do me one more favor, just one more favor.
6. One more favor, though.
One more favor. If you'll make
One more favor.
an acrobatics check for me. Because the
Climb
floor,
out the window.
the floor is
still
still fleshy and slick.
Spawn in 12 more.
7.
No! You were
Hell
doing
yeah.
so good for so long!
Oh.
Oh, that's Aminah. So you're there. Ooh, you get right to the window, slip, fall prone. And do you want to roll a d4 or do you want me to roll a d4?
I'll roll a d4. 1.
Boop.
I still have an attack.
Yeah, you do.
A 22 to hit.
And you still technically have half your movement, so you can still just stand up.
Oh, that's
but
true.
then
I'm at disadvantage. I attacked while prone.
you can
The
still.
12 was
Well, yeah. What'd you get then?
22.
Yeah, yeah, you're fine. And you're gonna deal a shitload of damage. It's okay, because he only has like 4 hit points.
Oh, well then.
5 hit points.
And I will. It's what, half of my movement to stand up, which is
Yeah, and you've already
20.
moved half your movement because that's whenever it triggers. So you basically just stand up there at the window, looking at Aminah. Unless you want to do a thing.
Step of the wind.
Yeah, I'll spend my last key point and step of the wind to get outside.
The last key point.
The last key point.
Step of the wind out into the alley next to Aminah and Kieran. That will now take it to Aminah and Kieran. What's your plan now that you all see that the building and world outside of the bar is also turning into flesh?
All right. So describe it for me. Is it sort of like we can see distinct breaks where like it's building flesh and then ground, or is it all melding into the same thing?
You can see some distinct divisions. You can sort of see still like the skeleton of the building. You can still make out what's what.
But like the actual ground dirt, is that still dirt or is it like flesh now?
That's flesh.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a very good question. Well, noticing that now not only the buildings, but the actual ground, the earth itself is turning into flesh in thinking fast, adrenaline rushing, moment of desperation. Aminah is just going to shout at the top of her lungs, a la Arnold Schwarzenegger, "Get to the boat! Get to the boat!" and makes a beeline for the boat where we, like, parked her. Because
I just did a big ass orange squiggle. That's the main road. So yeah, you can make that beeline. Does everyone eventually want to get to the boat?
Kieran will pose a question as you like. So if Kieran is theoretically next in initiative, he'll run up towards the boat, but next to Sludig, and just kind of mentions, if this thing created whatever this is in front of us, is it the cause of it? If we kill it, if we destroy it, will this stop? Can we revert this somehow? Have you dealt with anything like this before?
I've dealt with nothing quite like this before, but the world started to change like this when this started. I don't know how far this thing's power reaches and if we can take it out or not, but I feel as though if we don't, it may take over all of Driftchapel. The mayor's been here a long time.
Okay. With that response, he's gonna grit his teeth, turn around, and take a shot through the open window.
Make an attack roll with advantage. Is stunned.
Oh, well, in that case, with sneak attack. My
Freaking
first time I've
halfway.
gotten to use this. It's not very many die, but I'll take it. I'll especially take it when it crits for me.
Ooh!
That's a natural 20.
yeah.
Okay, so... I rolled 2 6s for my sneak attack. Oh, yeah. Plus, that is 40 points of piercing damage. As I line up the musket just like directly at his fucking forehead, and I'll fire off a shot at him.
Directly through the forehead it goes, and he sloughs to the ground in a big heap of flesh and blood. It dissipates into the floor, all the surrounding flesh.
I look back at Sludig. We can go now, right?
Sludig stays long enough to see if like the spread stops.
What do you mean?
Or does it
the
keep going?
spread stops?
The spread of the flesh and it going about and consuming more things. It was spreading out, right?
It's sort of.
Or was it
into
just
the
like
floor.
at like a certain domain was flesh, and then outside of that was still normal? I thought it was spreading.
Oh, as far as the outside world.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand. From what you can see, it still seems. It's still there, but it's starting to thin out some, just like it did inside.
I'm gonna wait for like a turn and then go.
I'm a bonus action dash.
You're like, I'm getting out of there. I don't.
I'll pat Sludig on the shoulder. Good luck.
Sludig, you wait for a few moments. Kieran, Aminah, you both run down to the boat.
Yes.
Sludig, make a perception check for me.
Ooh. Sludig ain't seen shit. 9.
You can still hear some faint echoes, but kind of keeping a keen eye on things. Many of those shadow creatures start to dissipate, crawl into nooks and crannies in the building. But as the flesh, it continues to thin out, light starts to come in from outside, and the shadowlings start to disappear completely. And eventually all the flesh starts to thin out even more outside, and continues to thin. It doesn't reach a stagnation, it keeps thinning.
Then I'm gonna run and use my action to dash to catch up.
Okay. You run, use your action to catch up. Skirt down, slide down some splintery railing down to where you parked your boat. And as you get into the boat, grab the oars, very tired and exhausted, winded from running that far. You start to paddle away, getting away from the land, getting out to the water a little bit, away from everything that just happened. And you look up at that bar as the flesh starts to retreat around it and slowly disappear. You see flesh around the taxidermy shop doing the same and retreating.
Excellent shot, Kieran.
Thank you. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm actually good at this or if adrenaline kicks in. How is is everyone physically okay? I know we're not mentally.
You all notice that Kieran's missing one of his front teeth.
I'm remarkably unharmed, but you seem to have taken a wound. Was that from your stumble?
What?
You're bleeding from your mouth.
I'll like feel around and notice that my tooth is missing, and then think back to the tooth I found. Oh, drat. Well, that's unfortunate. I think I found it, but well, some dentistry when we get home, I suppose. Yeah, I pull out a flask of milk because I've heard that's where you need to store teeth if they fall out, is in milk.
Wait, really?
Look it up.
I mean,
Oh,
I guess, like calcium. But
I don't know. It sounds like bullshit. And I'm lying, of course. Kieran does not have a flask of milk.
some nice
Got
curdled.
the emergency flask. Milk.
It's just solid. You have to like suck it out.
Here's some sour cream.
Oh, but for real though, is anybody like majorly missing hit points?
I am.
I'm missing 20 total.
That is enough.
I'm missing 56.
That's a lot. That's a lot more than 20.
Okay. as we're rowing the boat back, I'm gonna pull out my healer's kit and do some fucking healing.
Sludig is rowing the boat, and
Rowing
every
and
time you
getting
like
stitches.
stitch up a wound, it just rips open every single time.
Whatever.
It's fine.
Deal with it at the lighthouse. We're just getting there.
Well,
I don't want to be out here on the open ocean waiting for you to get this done either.
I'm already done.
Oh,
I rolled a d6 because it's a d6 plus 4 plus the creature's total number of hit dice, which I'm assuming is 10.
10.
So I rolled a 6, so you get 20 hit points back. And then I will do the same for Aminah. Not as good. You get 19 hit points back.
Not as good.
not as good.
Yay, Dankeschön.
Thank you, Kieran.
It's what I do, I suppose. So you really weren't lying about any of this. This is all real.
I would hate to have it confirmed in this way, but yes.
Fuck. Okay. I have to admit, I was secretly hoping that this was all a shared psychosis of some kind. But there was nothing imaginary about that.
I think shared psychosis would be far too simple for everything we're dealing with here, but with you in tow, hopefully it is something we'll be able to manage. As you've seen, these creatures are dangerous, but you seem to be able to handle yourself, obviously, quite well.
Thank you. The same goes for both of you. I'm not sure any of us would have made it out on our own. But for now, let's get back to some shelter and lick our wounds properly.
So, rowing your way back, going through the channels that you've gone through, it's a few times now, back all the way to the lighthouse. One of the ways that you've gone is near the town square. And the town is it's still quiet. It's all the same looking as you've passed through it earlier today, except one thing. And from Aminah and Sludig's time wandering the town a few weeks back, there's one building that's different, and it is the Mayor's Manor that is now covered in flesh.
Lovely.
But skirting around the town square, past the remains of the Rivermouth Inn and all the way back up to the lighthouse, I assume you wish to bed down for a long rest.
Yeah. Despite seeing the mayoral office being Flesh City. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just imagine spending this week going up to the top of the lighthouse and watching it just spread.
Flesh. Huh, that looks horrible. Good thing I'm in here.
Damn, you got to.
So, that's where we will stop, and in the next session we will talk about what happens during the downtime.
I have one final question before we end tonight, because this is going to dramatically change what I do in the next session. You mentioned that something had gone awry when I shifted, and fell out of the building and splat onto the wall. At this point, is that permanent or has that gone away?
I love it when you can see the DM mentally grappling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you are riding back on the rowboat, you look, and the legs are still there, but they're sort of curled in across your abdomen now. And you try to, like, mess with them, it almost sits on your stomach like armor. You can feel that they're there, and you know they're a part of you, but you feel like you can't really use them unless you fully shift and they come out. So they're sort of a new aesthetic addition for now.
You got a nice belt.
It's more like a corset.
Okay.
It's like,
Oh, higher up.
Given everything that has just happened and everything, I would just want to flavor the scene a little bit to give you all an idea of what may happen. As we park our boat and go towards the lighthouse, Aminah takes a second to look at her reflection in the water and really see what's happening, and just is absolutely speechless. Like, she's just like in such awe, disgust, like, oh my god, just now realizing what happened in this. And she's not going to do anything necessarily, but like, as she's feeling around, she's going to just, in this concoction of like horror, lingering adrenaline, all that, finger her dagger just a little bit and start to unsheath it very shakily, and the thoughts subside. Then she goes back inside.
it's gonna make me throw up. Oh god, that stressed me out more than anything else this session. Oh jeez. Yeah, and I imagine Aminah's maybe left with some thoughts of like her sister, who freely used her powers and what it did to her power. But with that, we will stop, find out what you all do during your downtime, and pick up on the 21st.